Hello. Hi, I hope everyone can hear me. So, well, it's been a terrible few weeks for me because this RSV2 has been really giving me a hard one. But it doesn't matter because I'm here now. Well, I've seen a lot of videos about spiritual quests and various things over the past bit of time. And I wanted to bring my own info into it so that you would know what's really going on. Now, this is a hard one. So anyway, you cannot receive enlightenment through practices. It's not going to happen. No matter how much you meditate, it's not going to happen for you. Okay? I know this through my own practices that I have done over the years, trying to get awakened, unable to, because practices don't work. Now, a lot of Buddhists and other folks will tell you, oh yes, practices work. You just keep doing the meditation and everything will be fine. Well, that's just not the way it works. Sorry. What does work is acceptance. That's it. If you just accept what is. Now, let's talk about pain. The pain of pain. We all know what pain is like. We all felt it. What is pain? Well, pain is an automatic nervous system warning for your body to let you know when you're doing something wrong. That's what pain is. But what it means is that your body is trying to help you get over yourself. That's what it is. I mean, it's hard to say exactly how much pain you're feeling in any one given day, but that is what it is, okay? The problem with your body, okay, and I've said this before, is that you think it's real. And so does everyone else. But the body is only an illusion, just like separation and attachment and time. That's just the way it is. Now, if you're in pain, I'm sorry, but the pain you're feeling is just also an illusion. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know it hurts badly, and it's hard to get it to stay better, but that's the way it is. Because the body does not know who you are. You know who you are, but the body does not. Now, who are you? You're a soul. And as a soul, you shouldn't be feeling anything because souls don't register pain. As long as you believe that you are a human being, then you're going to have pain. That's just the way it is. Now, I know this is hard. I have pain myself that I deal with, and I've told you guys how I deal with it, what I do when I'm feeling this pain. And all I'm trying to say is that this pain is not you. You think it is you. You think that you are in pain. That's what you think. I can't help that you think that, but that is what it is. And so you say, oh my goodness, this pain is so bad, I can't stand it, whatever it is you feel. Okay? Or maybe you're dying and you feel this horrible death pain, which is just another part of your mind saying, I am pain. That's what you're doing. You're saying, I am this pain. This pain is me. You're claiming the pain, okay? And you're saying, it's me. Well, it's not you. I'm sorry that's so difficult to understand, but we'll just keep on trying, okay? Now, as long as you accept the pain will eventually go away because the body is somehow wired to keep giving you pain unless you accept it. That's just the way it is. For instance, I have a pain in my ear, okay? And I accept that pain. I accept that it is there. It's not going anywhere, okay? And as that is, so is everything else. If I can't try to fight against the pain, if I try to not be with the pain, if I try to push away the pain, which of course everyone does, You push away the pain and you bring forth the desires. Okay? That's called aversion and wanting. That's what aversion and wanting. That's the whole human system right there. Now, I'm not trying to say that you can't want things. Of course you can. But as long as you are stuck in aversion and wanting, you cannot escape it. That's the way it is. Now, I'm not trying to make you or anyone else feel bad. I'm just telling you what I believe is going on. Accepting what is so vital to everything that you cannot understand how it is vital. Okay? For instance, you have an emotional pain. You have whatever it is, some type of problem with your life. And you fight against that pain. And so as long as you are fighting against the pain, you're going to suffer. Okay? Whether it's emotional pain or real pain, it doesn't really matter. So, that is the way it is. Now, your journey from the survival state of consciousness, which is what we're all in, mostly everybody's in it, to enlightenment, which is above the survival state, which allows us to feel the world. I know it's crazy, isn't it? We can't even feel the world we're in because our survival instincts are so dedicated to making us survive. Now, so that is the situation that we're in, okay? And so, therefore, it's time to accept what is, so that this survival instinct will not keep kicking in and making us unhappy. That's what it's doing. It's making us unhappy because we think, or at least our brains think, that this is how you survive. Now, I'm not saying it's not how you survive, it's just what your body and your brain thinks is going on. Okay? Because that's basically what it is. You are going to survive because your brain wants you to until it doesn't. Isn't that crazy? It's funny, isn't it? I think it's funny. Okay, so anyway, what is it all about? Well, it's about getting free. What is freedom? Freedom is not having the same responses to your pain. Freedom is not having the same emptiness inside, which is basically not real. Okay? It's not. You think it's real because you're in survival mode. You're in survival consciousness, which is not necessarily real either. Okay? I mean, our bodies were made to survive. Our brains were made to survive. And that is how it is. Okay, so, anyway, to move on from this point of view, let's try this. Okay? You are a soul. If you can accept that, then you will move on to enlightenment. That's it. There's nothing else. As long as you fight against this understanding, then you will be stuck. That's the way that is. Okay? Now I know that, a lot of people believe in some sort of reincarnation and all that stuff, and then your karma that goes on top of that, and you think that if you just behave in this particular lifetime, next lifetime will be better, right? That's what karma is all about. Well, it's a lie. Behaving is not what it's about. Behaving is what your mind wants you to do. That's what it is. Now, I know a lot of people don't watch these videos, and that's okay. I don't need a lot of people to watch them. I just need you to watch them. That's it. Nobody else. And if you are watching them, then you know that you're being fooled by your brain and by your body. See this? Look at this going on in my hand. Okay, that's the movement of strings that are You can see that going on. Look at that. See that? Now that is the movement of the strings in my hand controlling my fingers. That's why my fingers move. Okay? Because tendons, which are strings, are moving them. That is the nature of life. But we think, because, that's what our brains are telling us, that no, it is the brain that moves everything. And the brain is deciding which way my hand will move, okay, which way it will go, and that the hand is simply a tool. And as long as you believe in that idea, you're going to suffer, because the hand is just what it is. Okay? So, everybody has their own life, everybody has their own wishes and fulfillment that they have to try and find in order to be happy. That's what everybody has to do, right? But in order to get happiness, you think you have to find a man or a woman, or you think you have to find someone to love you, or whatever it is, okay? And that is the way toward getting your happiness. But there's only one problem. It's a lie. I know it's hard for me to laugh at lies that you believe in, but that's the way it is, okay? I can't help laughing because I know the truth. Now, all I'm trying to say to you is that this is the way of the world. We are in a conscious state because that is the way evolution has programmed us to be. Now, this conscious state is only survival, okay? Trying to get us to survive. That's what it is, okay? It's a survival state. That's it. In order to move up into more than survival, you need to accept what is, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to do anything more than just say, okay, this is the way it is, this is how it is, everything is the way it is, and that is what it is. If you think that life is difficult because of something you did or something someone else did, you're wrong. It's not difficult because that is the way it is. Sorry about that, my grandchild came out. It's nighttime, the stars are probably out, and everything is as it is. But you are not a human being. You have a human being body, which is your life form, which was given to you by God or fate or whoever you want to believe in, okay? But you also have something else within you that is more than just a human body, and that is your soul. You can't possess your own soul, but you can know it's there. How do you know your soul is there? By hearing the words that I'm saying that are true and recognizing they're true. That's it. That's the whole thing. I cannot make you understand what is your soul's life about. Not that your soul has a life, of course. It's limitless and has no life. But what I can do is to tell you what awakening is. And what it is acceptance. That's it. If you can accept who and what you are, which is a soul, then you will have enlightenment. It will happen without you having to do anything. As long as you are holding on to or pulling this human self towards you, because that's what you do. You pull the self towards you and you hold on to it. I got myself. I'm sorry, I'm so stupid. Anyway, so that is what is. Now, we have to accept that, because otherwise we're going to suffer. Okay? Now, I don't know the right way to say all this. I'm just saying it the best I can. But what is that you are a soul. And the human condition is that you are either pulling something toward you or you're pushing something away. It's called aversion and want. I've explained this to you a few times. Now, as long as you are in the aversion want cycle, you cannot accept what is. I want my coffee. I want a car. I want all these things in order to be happy, you think, right? Not going to work that way. What will work that way is accepting what is. You cannot make the world better than it is. You cannot make the world anything, because that is the way it is. And if you try to do that, you are going to find that you will suffer. That's what's going to happen. Now, I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want you to suffer. But that is where it is. Now, I know this stuff is all stuff I've already talked about, but I'm talking about it again because... just because, that's why. Now, I know my messages don't get out there very much. I know nobody listens to what I'm trying to say here. I get that. But what I am trying to say is you have a way in order to get free. And that way is to accept. It's already there within you. All you have to do is say yes to it. Okay? Now, I know it's hard. It's very, very hard to say yes to things you don't want. So you push them away. You aver them. And they go away for a minute and they come right back. Okay? That is how your body, your brain, the whole thing works. And then when you want things like a lover or a woman or a man, you pull towards those things. You pull and try to get them to come towards you. That is the nature of being a human being. Now, the nature of being a soul is you don't want anything, and you don't need anything, and you don't try to get anything. That's it. It's called being. All right? So, anyway. Try to understand that life is hard and that you are going to suffer unless you understand that. Try to understand that your life is more than just a... I don't know. My mind isn't working right today. Sorry about that. More than just a transactional equation set up by your parents. Okay, that's what it was, because your parents didn't trust each other. I can't say that that didn't happen. It didn't happen. It did happen. Okay? But regardless of that and everything else that goes on, you are a soul. And if your soul is caught, which it is, in grabbing things, okay, and pushing them away, okay, you will suffer. That is the case of it. Your soul isn't even involved in that. It's your mind that's doing it. Okay? But your soul has no choice but to go along with what your mind wants. So, if you didn't get what you wanted, let's say you were trying to get, I don't know, some mocha-yotted coffee, whatever it was, and you have a reaction because you can't get what you want. That is your mind saying, hey, fight against the isness. Fight against the isness because I want what I want when I want it. And that causes untold suffering, not just for you, but for anyone around you. We've all experienced what Karens do when they are trying to get what they want. They throw fits and all that. Just like kids. Kids do the same thing. So, I'm sorry, I'm still sick, so my breathing is going to be a bit erratic. Anyway, so all you have to do in order to get free is accept. That's it. There is no other requirement. Doing practices helps you to accept, so by all means do them. But it's not going to make anything happen on its own until you accept. I saw a video by somebody the other day about how to become enlightened, and they said that you have to. I don't even remember. It was so ridiculous. Practice. Practice makes perfect, right? That's what practice does. Doesn't it? You think it does, okay? But it doesn't. I love Buddha. Buddha's great. He was fantastic. He had an idea, which was acceptance. But unfortunately, he was wrong about something else, which was practice. Okay? I don't mean to say that the Buddha was wrong, but in my opinion, he was. What happens is you need to accept what is. That's it. And as long as you're clinging to what is not, which is what we do because we're human beings. I want my coffee a certain way. If I don't get it, I'm going to have a fit. That's it. I want my toys a certain way. If I can't get them, I'm going to have a fit. I come outside, I look at my car, it's got a big scratch along one side, and I go, oh my God, my car. Instead of accepting that your car is now scratched, you want to fight against that acceptance. You want to fight against the scratch, which you cannot do because it's already there. Anyway, so that is the way of enlightenment, to accept what is. I know everyone has things they don't like to accept about themselves. Like, for instance, I have long hair. And I have long hair because I made a vow not to cut it. It's a little bit difficult because I have to comb it and brush it every day. Isn't that crazy? It is. But it doesn't matter because this vow is greater than I am, because I am awakened. And so therefore the vow is up here and I am down here. If you think by awakening you can get up here, you're wrong. It's not up here, it's down here. I don't know everything, obviously, but I do know that your heart is where the doorway is into the formless dimension. That is why when you are happy, it's because the doorway has been opened by someone else. That's it. Okay? Someone you love has the key. Okay? And you have the key for their doorway, and that you open that doorway by loving them, and they open yours by loving you, and that is why you're happy. Not because of any external thing. Oh, my boyfriend loves me, so I'm happy. Because eventually that will stop. He won't love you anymore. He'll leave you, and then you'll be unhappy. And you won't know why or how to get happy again. That is what I know to be true. Now, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to think anything except what you want to think. And I'm totally okay with that. Your consciousness is in your hands. It's not in my hands. I would like for you to awaken so that you can stop suffering. And so the world can stop suffering with you. Because that is happening. But you know what? What I want or don't want is regardless, because I am not trying to want things. I am trying to give you knowledge. That's it. There's nothing else I can do for you except give you this knowledge. Now, everybody has their own path that they must walk. Everybody has their own attachments, their own illusions that they're suffering under. These things are part of the spiritual path, and you have to go through them bit by bit, time by time. Okay? That's the way it is. So, please accept what is. And what is that you are a soul. That's it. You cannot possibly know what you are because you are a soul. And souls do not have knowledge as such. They have your experiences are downloaded into your soul every day, and then the soul forgets them. It doesn't hold on to them. But the experiences are in there, and when you go to God at the end of your life, they will be downloaded into God, and they will become part of God. That's my opinion. But if you are having any kind of a feeling that reacts to what my opinion is, then my opinion is probably true. Anyway, just try for one moment to realize that this flesh is not you. This head is not me. The pain is not me either. Okay? It's not me. So when the pain comes, which I don't like pain any more than anyone else, I know where it belongs, not to me. And then it goes like that. I know it's crazy, isn't it? It's a weird world. But as long as you think you are the source of your own pain because you have a body, then the pain is going to stay, because that is what pain does. I don't want anybody to be in pain or have pain, but you must accept that it's not your pain. It doesn't have anything to do with you because you are a soul. I know that's hard to do when the pain is hammering at you. Believe me, I've had pain hammer at me before and I know what it's like. But regardless of that, you are not a soul. You are not a body. Your body is only the thing that allows you to live on this plane of existence. Okay? Sorry, I misspoke. Yes, you are a soul. Now, as long as you think you're a body and you have accepted that this is all real, then you are going to feel pain. That is just the way of it. Pain is part of your body. You cannot escape as long as you think that it is your pain. Oh, I have a pain in my head. Oh, I have a pain in my foot. Oh, I have a pain in my hand. You're claiming the pain. You're saying, I am in pain. No, it's not your pain. It is your body's pain. Your pain doesn't exist because you are a soul. That's it, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain or whatever it is, that is what it is. And you are not a body. You are not a body because you do not have... of course you have a body, but you do not have the prerequisite to be in a body. You have no choice about it because God said... He gave you his part of his life. He gave you part of his force. And he said, live on this plane. That's why you have a body. That's why you have pain. That's why you have everything you have, is because God gave it to you. Now, I don't know everything. Obviously, I'm just trying to be real here and tell you what I think. And what I think is that you are a soul. That's it. And as a soul, you have to stop claiming your pain, or your pain is not going to go away. As long as you claim it, as long as you say, oh, my knee hurts, or oh, my shoulder hurts, or oh, my elbow hurts, you are claiming your pain because you think this is you. You think this is you right here. This is your elbow. You think it's you. It's not you. You are a soul free of every kind of pain because souls do not feel pain. They don't. So that is what is, and if you continue to fight against that isness, you're going to suffer. Why do I make these videos? Well, because I don't want people to suffer, and I don't want to have suffering going on in the world that I can do something about. That's why I'm here making a video for you today. Okay? Or tonight. But regardless of what I want or don't want, it just doesn't matter because you are still in the suffering. Why? Because you think you're a body. That's why. You think that you are a hand or a face or a leg or a thigh. You think that your meat is what is, but it's not. Because you are not a body. You are not a head or any of that, or a brain even. You're not a brain. Okay? And that is the way it is, because we have been trained throughout our life to believe in these things. This flesh is very convincing. It's very convincing because it has pain, it has problems that you have to overcome. But these problems are just a teaching for you. They're a teaching so that you can understand what life is really about. And what is life really about? It's about accepting what is. As long as you fight against the isness of your life, Are you a woman and you think you're a man? Or are you having a problem because you don't understand what is going on with you? It's because you think you're a body, and you think that this body is somehow different. If you were in the now, okay, you wouldn't think you were a man or a woman, because in the now, men and women do not exist. Only souls, which are all the same. I'm not trying to say that you're not a beautiful man or a beautiful woman or beautiful anything. I'm just saying that's the way it is. Now, I'm running short on time, so I'm just going to try and make this as quickly as possible. I love you all. And why do I love you all? Because I know who you are. Because you are a soul. And soul is what I am. And as soul, I love all souls, because that is how it is. If you continue to try and love only one person who has the key to your happiness, okay, and you have the key to their happiness, eventually that person is going to die or leave you or who knows what, because people are not very responsive to your life. That's just the way it is, okay? They are going to change. Everything changes. Life is impermanent. Your life is impermanent. My life is impermanent. I'm 68 years old, believe it or not. And I'm going to, at some point, this body is going to drop. That's what happens. And as such, I have to accept it. If I don't, then I will be in death. Because death is, again, another illusion. I know I say everything is an illusion, but death is definitely an illusion, because you cannot die. Because you are a soul, an illusional, but a piece of God inside of you is unaffected by life or death. I don't know everything, obviously. But I do know that as long as you are stuck in craving and pushing things away, okay, then you cannot have freedom. Freedom from the thoughts, freedom from the emotional storms, freedom from everything that is making your life bad. Okay? You have a set of people that you love, and those people have the key to your inner door, that inner door that opens to God. As long as you love them, which you do, of course, then they will open that key for you, and you will have the love of God. And as long as they love you, you can open the key for them. That's how it works. But as soon as somebody dies or somebody doesn't love you anymore, which happens all the time, right? That's what happens. Then your key is no longer good for anything, because you can't open any doors for them anymore, and they can't open any doors for you. And so now you're unhappy. And I'm so sorry you're unhappy, but that's the way it is. Anyway, that is the nature of the isness, to be impermanent. Everyone on this planet is impermanent, and everything on this planet is impermanent. It is constantly changing. And as that happens, so are you constantly changing too. I'm going to pull forward now so you can see what I really look like. Alright, you see the wrinkles on my face? You see the rims under my eyes? The other wrinkles here. This is what it is. It's impermanent. At one time, I didn't have these wrinkles because I was a child, living in a child's world. And you are a child too. Because you think this is you. Not this, obviously. This is what I think. It doesn't really matter. But you think that you, okay, living in a body are real, but it's not real. It's a fake. Well, I've gone over my time, which I really don't care about anymore, but this is the way it is. You cannot ascend by practice. You can only ascend by accepting what is. I don't want anybody to suffer, really. I hate having anyone suffer at all, because I feel the suffering, because I am awakened. And when you awake, you will feel the suffering too, and you will know what you can do about it. What I'm doing about it is these videos. That's it. There's nothing else I can do. Believe me, I go out every day and try to find people who are suffering and try to help them. But you cannot help someone until they are ready to have their help. Time and again, I've gone to see grocery clerks and people who are having real suffering. And you know what? They don't want my help because they are not ready for the teacher. If you're not ready for the teacher, then the teacher is not going to be able to help you. They say that when you are ready, the teacher will come. That's what they say. And that means that life is what it is. And you cannot fight against it because you are not the one in charge. The one in charge is God up here, okay? And he is the one who has given you everything you have, and he can take it away like that. Why? Because that is what is. If you can accept what is, if you can accept that God loves you, and he's ready to open your door so that you can have happiness, then you will accept God. And God will open your door because he has the key, the number one key, the only key that you need. If, on the other hand, you believe that you are a human being living in a body and that body is real, then you will experience suffering. And that's it, okay? I know you don't want to suffer because obviously suffering is not good for you, it's not good for anyone. But that is the nature of being a human being. Alright, well, I guess I should stop. It's been 37 minutes, and I keep going on because I love you so much. I want you to have everything I have. And what do I have that's so great? Well, I don't have suffering. That's what I have. And I don't have this horrible feeling in my gut that life is empty. Because you have that, don't you? Really? I mean, everyone has it. Everyone feels it. And you know what else I don't have? A bunch of rules telling me what I can and cannot do. Because you have those rules because you are not enlightened. I want you to be enlightened. That is what I want. That is why I am making these videos, so that you can be as good as you are. Which is, you are a soul. You have the potential to be a free, unfettered soul. Alright, well, I guess that's all I have to say today. I love you all because you're me. As souls, we are the same thing. You and me are the same. There is no separating you and me from each other. As much as I love all of you, and I would love all of you independently of your soul, if I could see you and know you, I can't see you and know you because this is a video and you guys are watching it. Alright, well, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you all have a wonderful life and a great year and day. Of course, that's not possible because Donald Trump has just fucked the world. I don't care about that because it doesn't matter to me what Donald Trump does or what anyone else does either. Except you. Accept what is. And you will feel the peace and the freedom of that. Alright, well, it's been lovely talking to you, and I hope that some of this has made sense to you. If not, I'm so sorry, and I will keep making videos to hopefully make some more sense to you. Bye.